Sometimes when I mention the word reconciliation, I can see the disconnect in my clients' faces. In today's video, I will explain what your accountant is talking about when they use the word reconciliation and show you an example of one using QuickBooks Online. By the way, before we even get into it, we are in the process of creating the ultimate DIY bookkeeping guide. The guide will include step-by-step bookkeeping workflows along with video tutorials. This is something that you feel would benefit you and or your business. Click the link in the description below to sign up for updates and be the first to know when the guide is complete. So let's jump right in with what is a reconciliation. A reconciliation is a verification of numbers on a financial statement to a verifiable source, like a bank statement, a loan statement, or maybe even a credit card statement. It's kind of like balancing your checkbook. So if you ever learned how to do that, maybe in high school, if you had a consumer ed class or something like that, they taught you how to balance your checkbook. That's basically what you're doing, but you're doing it for a business. So I have an example here of a bank statement. And what this is telling me is that at the beginning of June, I had $21,000 in my checking account, but then I made 7 deposits and I made 50 withdrawals. And at the end of the month, I had $3,000 left. In order to tie this out is I would complete a reconciliation in my accounting software to get my numbers to come out and make sure that they're the same. I think it's worth noting here that the type of reconciliation that we're going to be talking about today can be done on a bank account, it can be done on a credit card account, and it can be done on a loan account. And actually, all of them are very important. So if you have all 3 of those things, then you should be completing reconciliations on all of those accounts, at least on a quarterly basis, or I guess at the very bare minimum, an annual basis, but preferably on a monthly basis. So let's dive into what a reconciliation looks like using QuickBooks Online. And this is going to be just a really brief, it's not going to be an in-depth tutorial. So what we have here is that same bank statement that I had showed you earlier, where we have a beginning balance and an ending balance. So if we're going to complete a reconciliation in QuickBooks Online, the first thing that we want to pay attention to is the beginning balance, because we want to make sure that nothing has changed since the last time we reconciled our account and that our beginning balance is still correct. So if we go into QuickBooks Online here, I'm just going to move this over. We go to the gear wheel and we click on reconcile. And I just want to point out that this is going to be a reconciliation if you're doing manual data entry. So you're not using the bank feeds. You don't have QuickBooks Online connected to your bank and it's automatically bringing in transactions. This is manual. So if you do have the bank feed connected, then all that changes really is that some of the transactions will already be marked off for you, because when they get entered from the bank feed, then it knows that it came from the bank, so it automatically checks it off as being verified with the bank statement. So you're going to click on reconcile under the gear wheel here, and it's going to bring you to this screen, and then you're going to choose the account that you want to reconcile. So we're going to do a checking account, and we want to confirm that beginning balance. So, well, first of all, we want to make sure that the last time that the account was reconciled, that we have the statement following that period. So we have our April statement, and actually when I bring it back up again, you'll see it's a June statement, but this is all just for demo purposes. So the last statement ending 3/31. So our beginning balance was $21,281.83, and we want to confirm that over here. So we have $21,281.83. Okay, so we're good to go. Now we need the ending balance, $3,191.14. And then we want to put in our ending date. So in this case, it's going to be the end of April. So 4/30/21, and I'm a year behind. And let's start reconciling. Okay, so now what you would do is you would look at your bank statement and you would check off all of the withdrawals and all of the deposits that match here. So you would just go down the list and check them off as you see them on the bank statement. And when you get all done, you should have a $0 difference here. So for the purposes of this demonstration, to keep it short, I'm just going to quickly run through this. I already know what cleared and what didn't. This did not, and no, there was a deposit. Okay, and that did not clear. Okay, so I've checked off all the things that were on my bank statement. It says I have a $0 difference. Now, you would think you would be done here, and technically you could be, but what I always like to do is take one extra step and just look through and see anything that has not cleared yet, because It could mean that there's a duplicate transaction, something that you entered twice. It could be something that was entered to this account that didn't actually come out of this account or go into this account. It got recorded to the wrong bank account. There could be many reasons. So I just like to quickly run through, look for all of the white areas, the things that haven't been checked off, and ask myself, okay, does it make sense that that hasn't cleared? Well, this is a cash expense, so it could be that it was paid cash out of somebody's pocket, not actually out of this checking account. So then I would want to ask that question, and if I need to void it or correct it, then I have the opportunity to do that right now. And then I see here that there's a deposit on 4/6 that didn't clear. Well, a deposit typically clears the minute you bring it to the bank. So unless today with mobile deposit, like you might deposit it on the 30th of the month and it doesn't actually show up on your bank statement until the 1st of May or something like that. But in most cases, a deposit should clear fairly quickly. So if you see one early in the month that hasn't cleared, that either indicates that the deposit never made it to the bank or that the deposit was made for a different amount and it warrants further investigation. So we have everything checked off. We're at a $0 difference. We've investigated all of our uncleared transactions and we are complete. We can click finish now. And we're done with this reconciliation until the next month. I've given you a quick overview of reconciliations, but if you would like to learn more, click the link in the description below to sign up for updates on the ultimate DIY bookkeeping guide that will contain all of the details you need to rock your reconciliations. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Comment below, is this your first introduction to reconciliations for your small business? Thanks for watching and see you next time.